Some things are practical, but they're not useful. Let me give an explanation. This is going to be a very rough explanation. Well, not rough. Okay, let me begin. For example, cocaine, or better said, heroin. Cocaine and heroin are very effective. For example, if you go to a hospital and you just had surgery and you're recovering, they give you pure diamorphine. Diamorphine is the medical name for heroin, and the heroin they give you in the hospital is a pure heroin, not a cheap crap you can buy in the streets. Over there in the hospital, when you're recovering, diamorphine in the pure form is practical. You never get addicted to it because it has its purpose. Outside of the hospital, you can buy it in the streets, but you get a debased version of it. And even then, it is practical, but not useful. In the hospital, when you're recovering and they give you diamorphine, there it is practical and useful. Outside of that, it is practical because you can get relieved. You can numb emotional pain, and because of that you can continue. So it is effective, it works, but it's not useful. But you know what? The same way, let me go down here. Okay. The same way there are things that are practical, that worldly people do, and there's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing sinful or wicked or bad about them. But for believers, it's not very wise to do. Okay, now let me give another example. Not not something. Okay, sorry, not something related to drugs. I'm sorry, it's night over here. I'm a bit tired physically, but nevertheless, I want to make this video for you. If, for example, you have people who are involved in business, and there's nothing wrong with having your own business and doing business, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. But then you have people that want to form cartels for security. Now, as a believer, it's not wise to join people in forming a cartel. It is practical. It is. To secure your business. So to have your business secured, there's nothing wrong with that. But you need to look at the bigger picture. Those other people that you form a cartel with, they're not in agreement with Christ. They go to the paranormal to get their security. So you've become unequally yoked with unbelievers. And yet, yes, your business will flourish because you're part of a cartel. But you're now associated with demons. You're not worshiping demons, no, you're not. You're not cheating anyone, you're not performing pagan sacrifices nor any of that. Not you. They are. But people out there are not going to see this distinction. They're only going to see a cartel. And they see that the cartel is using pagan symbols, and they see you involved. That's the only thing they see. And when they hear that you are a believer, Satan can use this to trick them into thinking that there's nothing wrong with worshiping demons. That those are just spirits that God is using to minister unto people. I mean, Satan has many deceptions. I'm not even going into those deceptions now. There are way too many. Just understand is that some things are practical, but they're not useful to believers. And by the way, about the cartel, there are cartels who don't go to the paranormal, but those cartels often they don't last very long. About the whole idea of a cartel itself, it is practical. It is functional, but look at the bigger picture, whether it's useful. Useful in the sense of, okay, look, useful in the sense of, does this going to bring long-term sorrow? Diamorphine, or like heroin, pure heroin in the hospital, when a patient is recovering, no long-term damage. Because once the patient is out, the patient never longs to heroin anymore. If you're at a party and people just want to do some drugs to be cool, not useful. When it comes to drugs, people can easily see the long-term effects. But there are many things out there of which you can't see the long-term effects directly. That's why when some things go wrong, like you had a meeting with someone because you wanted to get an internship somewhere, but there was a train delay, so you couldn't get on time, and now the individual doesn't want to have another appointment with you, and now you think, Lord, why did this happen? I left home on time. I was serious about this. Now I'm missing an internship. What you're not aware of is that internship at that company, there are a lot of witches and wizards who even provide services to people for money. So it's a one occult stronghold over there. And there were many interns before you that came but they left because they sensed heaviness over there. But you were not aware of all of this. You were only focused on, I want to get an internship. And there's nothing wrong with that. But here's the thing. You didn't look at the bigger picture. You didn't do any research into the corporation. You didn't do any spiritual research. Because if you would have done spiritual research, then probably you would have never even applied for an internship over there. And sometimes you can't know it. But here's the thing, you walk by faith. And because you walk by faith, some outcomes are blocked. Some outcomes are frustrated for your benefit. Maybe though they're just people that you used to hang out with, you were on good terms with them, but suddenly they blocked you on Facebook. They don't want to talk with you anymore. They see you on the street and say hi and they walk on. And you're thinking, what's going on? Listen, those people are in the negative. Some of them may be in dangerous sexual relationships where they have all kinds of physical diseases, or they even may have AIDS, or maybe it's not a physical disease, maybe they have a lot of demons attached to them, or maybe they're now involved with criminals, with people from the underworld. You don't know all that's going on with those people. And those people, they carry that danger with them everywhere they are. And because you walk by faith, the light that shines through you is all blocking out those people. That's why, supernaturally, they were gone from your Facebook. It's not them that blocked you on Facebook, it's the Holy Spirit that did it. And those people kind of forgot about you. And they thought, oh, I don't have on Facebook anymore. Probably doesn't want to hang out with us. What has happened is a supernatural intervention. But you're not aware of it. Okay, maybe someone did block you on Facebook. So what do you bother? Why are you bothered with it? You have the Holy Spirit. You operate in supernatural. If someone does not want to be around you, who is blessed, then something's wrong with them, not with you. Okay? Okay. I know that this video is becoming a bit long. As mentioned before, I'm a bit physically tired. But nevertheless, understand the following. When you operate in the supernatural, there are certain things that won't fit you. Okay? Some things just won't go well with you. They will go well with people in the world. For example, let's say that you have a group of men, men and women, youngsters, who are smoking a lot of weed, getting drunk, and they're having their party. Well, they are buddies with one another. Some of them can't stand one another. They have fights with one another. But nevertheless, because they're all in the negative, they're all relief center, they get the relief by drinking a lot, smoking a lot, doing all of that. Now look, they with each other can do that. They can even go to each other's house on visit. But you operate in the light. So with you, there's always this friction between darkness and from the darkness towards the light, because the darkness cannot comprehend the light. So the darkness is going to become uncomfortable. So what's going to happen? They're going to become uncomfortable with you. So even if they're not that uncomfortable with you, they're still carrying that darkness with you. So when that darkness comes to you, it's not going to be a happy party. It's going to be contention here and there because it just doesn't match. All right? So look, I'm not telling you to isolate yourself, to interact with nobody, just because look, you're in the world. Most people are unsaved. Most people operate in the negative. A lot of people can't know any better. They really can't. So you're not going to look where you have the right people. That's a trap. Just realize that some things go wrong for your benefit. And some stuff you think you need, but you really don't need it. Well, it doesn't matter how the separation happens, whether it's a painful or an easy separation, let the separation happen. Well, that being said, I'm about to go to look when my boss will arrive. Maybe I'll make another video. Anyway, be at peace. Shalom.